Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's video. Just want to very quickly evaluate the winter forecast. I'm very late doing this, but it is important that as we issue forecasts after the forecast period, we evaluate the performance of the forecast and see whether it has been a hit or a miss. And it has been a miss, perhaps explain the reasons for what went wrong. So the winter 2012-2013 forecast that I issued at the start of December was for a slightly colder than average winter, and precipitation coming out near normal, but with very wet and very dry periods really cancelling each other out. I did say that there was the potential really for some severely cold weather during the winter, but that I didn't think it would really come to much because there was various factors really competing with one another this winter. We had a lot of factors that were indicating a cold winter, but we had a lot of factors, or we had some factors that were indicating a more milder Atlantic-based winter. And I said that we'd have a topsy-turvy winter with the two factors really cancelling each other out at the end. So probably not a severely cold winter, but coming out a little bit colder than average. And I've got to say I'm very pleased with the winter forecast this time. It's been a very good forecast actually. These are the anomalies for the winter period from the UK Met Office. So this is for the 81 to 2010, 1981 to 2010 period. These are the anomalies for the winter set against that period. And we can see that for Scotland actually we had a near normal winter away from eastern parts of Scotland in terms of temperatures. Out Hebrides just about getting a little bit of pink, indicating temperatures slightly above average as an anomaly, but really Scotland and Northern Ireland had temperatures near normal for the winter. But for England and Wales we did have a slightly cooler than average winter in these pale blue colours, indicating an anomaly of 0.5 to 1 Celsius below the 81 to 2010 average. So it was an average winter in the north, very slightly cooler than average winter in the south, very much in line really with what I predicted in the forecast, which as I say was for average to slightly cooler than average temperatures, favouring cooler than average, but not a particularly severely cold winter. Now the precipitation did go a little bit wrong. I said that precipitation would probably come out around the seasonal average. Actually it's turned out to be a little bit wetter than the average for many parts of the country. Northwestern Scotland had precipitation below average. We're in these brown colours there, indicating that precipitation did come out below average. That's because of a blocking area of high pressure up to the north and west of Scotland through much of the winter. That was the reason it was a cool winter, but it kept northwestern Scotland drier than average. But to the east of Scotland, and then for much of England and Wales, precipitation did come out slightly wetter than average. Not a desperately wet winter by any means, but precipitation was on the plus side of the 81 to 2010 average. And I think December really does skewer that a lot. January and February were actually a good deal drier, but December, you remember, was phenomenally wet, particularly the period leading up to Christmas. I mean, just after Christmas really was exceptional in terms of rainfall. It was the wettest December actually since 1978, would you believe? And to come out just slightly wetter than average overall, away from East Scotland where it was very wet, but to come out just slightly wetter than average overall through the winter, that took some doing actually. It shows that January and February were really quite dry because that December was exceptionally wet. But I did say that I thought the winter would have its wet periods, and some of that would come in snow. It did in fact in January and a little bit in February as well come as snow. But overall I'm very pleased with the winter forecast. It has gone quite well. These seasonal forecasts are always hits and misses really. Sometimes it'll go well, sometimes it won't. I think this particular winter has gone quite well. Very pleased with how it went, but next winter it could well be a completely different kettle of fish. But overall, very pleased with the winter 2012-2013 forecast, and it's a good job March didn't the weather in March didn't happen earlier, of course, because it would have been a much colder winter if the weather in March had occurred, say, in January. But I was very lucky in that respect. So overall, very pleased with the winter forecast. We're on now into spring, of course. There'll be another spring update later on this month, so look out for that. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.